with cars.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about how these guys are hoarding cars, but they never seem to run.
Like, I have one car, he has 5, and most of the time, 4 of them are not running at the same time. And I'm like, what is the point of having all these cars?
All right, guys, welcome back to the All About Cars podcast on the Triple R Supercar channel. I'm your host, Liz, and today is a little bit different. We don't have Aaron on, of course, but I have 3 beautiful ladies, my friends. We'll start with introductions.
Hi, guys. I am Raven Aton. I am not a car junkie, but I am married to one.
I am Linda Duff. I am an owner of a general automotive repair and high performance shop with my husband, who is a car aficionado.
That's where you put in the claps.
Oh, yeah.
I am Riley Burns, and my husband is also a car aficionado, and I am by proxy, but not really.
But I
love loud and fast cars.
Yeah, I mean, you have a pretty loud and fast car.
Sure.
Yeah, I just heard it start up.
Me too. She sounds good.
Yeah. So today we're going to make fun of the guys.
Yeah.
Not necessarily our guys, but all the guys in the car scene. Y'all do some weird stuff, like
And also our guys.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Our guys too.
because they do the weird stuff too.
For sure.
But stick around because later the guys are going to do a podcast making fun of us.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Well, hopefully not us, but other.
No,
Oh, it will
that
definitely
in
be
there.
me.
They're
Yeah.
going to roast us for sure.
Yeah, they're going to watch this and be like, did my wife roast me? Yes. Then I'm roasting her.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe they shouldn't be allowed to watch until after they
Oh,
record.
yeah. Good idea.
That would be a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That means Aaron can't edit this. I'll have to edit it.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah,
Just don't let him see it.
that's true.
Till later.
No audio. He has to edit by video only, but no audio.
Oh, yeah, that will work.
Perfect.
Oh, let's start off by talking about what are those boards called that the guys put in front of their cars? I know your husband definitely has those.
I mean, he doesn't. I would consider them like a spec board. Okay, there's guys that have the whole layout of why their car is so very unique. My husband, just because he gets asked the question so often of how much horsepower his car has, like he printed out the dyno sheet and he hangs that up. So he doesn't have like a spec board like some guys, but he does have the dyno.
I think
Under the hood.
that is respectable. And if your car is legit an antique or legit a one of one, that's okay. But these guys that are like, I had this special painted, this special color, so it's one of one. And I'm definitely putting all the specs on this board and posting it in front of the car.
I feel like I call it a brag board.
Oh yeah.
They're bragging about everything that they've done to it, and it's like, man.
It's a little douchey.
Yeah.
It comes off a
A
little
lot
douchey.
of people don't care
Right.
that you have hand-picked this color, and then you had it wrapped and coated and blah.
No, it's,
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Some of the specs doesn't even matter.
No.
Right. Like it's not cool.
No.
What does it put? What's it put out at the wheels? And that's it, right? So a
Yeah.
dyno.
Yeah.
I feel like that's respectable.
So you don't want to know what brand of oil they're using in
I
their
don't.
car? Oh.
Don't care.
I could look it up. I can Google it if I really care.
All right. Give it a Google.
Are you sure you don't want to know that car specifically want to show like a car show trophy
In
17
1977.
yeah, 17 years ago?
You know, actually, I think I do want to know that. Only so I can be like, you're a douche.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think those guys are bad, but it's worse the guys that actually sit and read that stuff and like pump those guys up and they're just like, oh yeah, what else? Can you tell me more about this car? Like, what else is going on with it?
I feel like
They're
that would be
vibing
my
with
husband.
the same energy. They're vibing with the same energy, though.
They probably have a board for their own car.
Yes.
A few cars down.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They have a tendency to stick together anyway.
Right.
So it's like, hey, man, nice car. Can I park next to you?
Yeah. I say I feel like that would be my husband that would ask more questions, but not to those guys. Like he would just see a car and be like, "Oh yeah, what's that car do?" I'd be like, "I'm gonna go sit inside."
20 minutes later.
20 minutes later.
Oh, well, at least he walks around those guys that just like they put out their chairs and they're waiting for that person to come up and ask like, "Hey, what's going on under the hood?" "Oh, I'm glad you asked. This is my time to shine."
They like wait to put their hood up until someone asks them, and they're like, "Oh, look."
They're not here for the car show. They're here to show off their car. Like, I don't want to walk around and see what everybody else has. I want everybody to see what I have.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stand by my car. Look cool.
It's a little braggadocious.
It absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Or I really like the guys that have a specific theme going on with their cars. So not only is there the brag board, but they're like, let's say, I don't know, pick some random cheesy cartoon. They're like, yes, that is the theme of my car.
Japanese anime.
Okay,
Absolutely.
let's go. I mean, I've seen some old guys too that have like a tiger or something, and then it's everywhere, right? We got the tiger hanging out in the passenger seat. We have some like little tiger, little thing hanging out under the hood, and you're like,
There's
cool,
too many
dude,
tigers.
that's so cool.
It doesn't stop with just cars. Have you guys seen the slingshots where people are driving around with like Batman next to them? I'm like, okay, dude, like you are not Batman.
You're also a grown ass adult.
Yes, true. That's true.
Okay, but there are also girls that do those themes.
That's true. There's a lot of hearts.
Yep.
Hello Kitty.
Hello Kitty.
Kitty.
That's the one I was thinking of.
Cringy.
Yeah. Pink everything.
Do you guys get secondhand embarrassment from those girls?
100%.
Yes.
100%. I suffer from secondhand embarrassment from so many things, and that's one
All
of
the
them,
time.
For sure.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure.
That's bad. It's really bad.
You just cringe because for a girl to be in the car scene, most guys are like, "Oh yeah, there's a girl that likes cars." And then she ruins it and makes all of us look bad by having pink Hello Kitty stuff. Everything.
Yeah.
Car seats, car covers, steering wheel cover, dice in the mirror. Like, that shit was popular in 1993.
And the steering wheel cover's probably like fuzzy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fuzzy
Or the
pink.
rhinestones.
Oh, no.
Oh God, those.
I'm
are
like, how do
so
you drive
bad.
with that? They're scratchy.
Yeah.
Nobody
Plus,
wants that.
I had rhinestones on the Mercedes emblem on my daily when I bought it, and it took exactly a week before I removed it. I was going through Starbucks park drive-through, and the sun hit it, and I'm like trying to get my coffee, like, oh my God, I can't see. So those are just dangerous in general.
Blinding.
It's funny that we're supposed to be making fun of guys, but
Now we're making fun of the women instead.
Sorry.
We very
We got a little off topic.
It's really just car people, but car guys are the worst.
yeah, I mean, car girls are pretty bad too. If I think about a car girl, my first thought is like someone like Linda. Like she lives, breathes, dreams Supras specifically, and she knows what she's talking about. I can ask her any question about a Supra, and she will confidently know the answer. And then there's other car girls that are like, "Oh yeah, this is a Honda Civic, and Hello Kitty's my favorite, and I just love pink because I'm a girl.
And it goes fast. Oh, how fast does it go? Real fast.
My boyfriend put all the money into it and made the exhaust, so now it goes boom boom."
It sounds so cool.
And then they're like, but it's an automatic. It's not even
yeah,
manual.
which
And then you're like, what?
That's okay. My Supra is automatic, and but I did have a guy stop me, and we were like in we were in Myrtle Beach, and a guy like want me to roll down the window. I roll down the window, and he's like, "Is it manual?" And I'm like, "No." He's like, "Oh." I'm like, "Sir, my car, I can guarantee goes faster than yours, so calm down."
I also wouldn't say that the whole automatic manual thing happens for Supras. Like, I don't think that falls into the same category as like, oh yeah, I have an automatic Civic, whatever. Like,
Supras and 240s, I feel like, are like that.
yeah, they're fine. And all the fast cars now, all the super cars, they're all automatic now. They're all computerized. So I don't see like the fight for a manual Supra versus an automatic Supra. I'm talking more like, you know,
Right.
But some people, like,
Civic.
I enjoy a manual. Like, the Mercedes I have now is the first automatic car I've had since I was, like, 16. So I specifically enjoy it. But now that I'm in an automatic, I'm like, man, this is actually pretty nice. Like, I'm a little spoiled.
yeah.
I
It's
have
a little bit
confession,
enjoyable.
and I'm going to talk shit about myself. I can't drive a manual.
Really?
Yeah, so my brother taught me how when I was like 15, 16 in his brand new Mustang, which was a horrible car to learn in. Like
Yeah.
why that was ever
Yeah.
a thing should have never happened. I was doing like burnouts and shit. Like I had no idea how the clutch worked.
But you were doing burnouts on accident, not because it was cool.
100% on accident, right. So I get like the concept, but I've never had a manual car. I don't really understand it. So I'll go ahead and shit on myself before my husband does in the next episode.
I say that
cannot.
too, but I know how to drive one and I don't prefer it. So I say
same.
like, oh, an automatic versus manual. I drive an automatic and I am totally fine with it. I hate when I have to drive a manual and I'm stuck in traffic. It's the worst
Oh, that
thing.
is the worst.
It's the worst thing. And I knew how to drive a manual. I was taught, but I hadn't done it since, again, like I was
Right.
14, 15. So when we got the Supra, it's a right-hand drive, and I have to figure out how to shift with my left hand. So now I can drive better drive a manual better with my left hand than I can at right hand, like all day.
Well,
Yeah,
I feel like
makes
it's like
sense.
anything. You do it enough, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna get it down. And I really want like a '67 Camaro one day. That's my dream car. And obviously, when that time comes, I'm gonna get a manual. I'm gonna figure that I'll get
I'll
it down.
teach you.
Yep.
Right. But
Yeah.
until then, I don't know how.
There's no need.
Yeah.
You have an automatic car.
I drive a Ford Explorer. Like, I don't need to know.
Yeah.
So
We got way off topic.
We did, but you know what? The guys that are watching this are probably sitting there thinking like, oh, they're talking about automatic versus manual. None of them know how to drive manuals. Actually, 3 of us do. So
3 out of the 4 do.
And also, we admit when we don't. So
Yeah.
That's true.
we're not pretending to be nothing.
yeah, because there are a lot of guys that, they drive automatics and they don't want people to know.
Yeah. And there are also a lot of guys who don't know how to drive manuals. So
Oh, yeah.
especially now.
Oh, yeah, nowadays.
Like nowadays, I would say there's probably 80% that don't know how to drive
Yeah, I would say you're
a
accurate.
manual.
There's probably 80% that don't know how to use like a drill.
Yes.
So
Agreed.
it wouldn't shock me at all.
Also a turn signal.
Oh, yeah. Here in North Carolina, yes, that's
Yeah.
very accurate.
Or even drive.
Oh, yeah.
You heard
yeah.
of like kids nowadays? Remember when we were little and we're like, man, I can't wait to drive, get out of the house. Now, kids don't even want to get their licenses. I hear it from parents all over the place.
Really?
And
I know
it happened with my own
20-year-olds.
stepson.
They don't have a license. They don't have any
They-
feel like they need to.
They don't want to because they
weird.
want to play video games and they want to be dependent. They don't want to have to go out and drive themselves.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. I was driving my dad's like pickup truck around the yard. Like when I was looking through like the steering wheel. I couldn't even see over it.
That's
I'm
how I
skirting
drive
around the yard.
The Lambo, the seat doesn't go up. It just goes forward and back. So I'm
You're
like looking
looking
between.
through.
I'm like, I got this.
Do you all ever, switching another topic,
That's okay.
do you all ever, like you're around your man and he meets another car guy or whatever and you feel like he's like constantly trying to one up?
Yes.
Have you ever felt that way?
Yeah.
Like secondhand embarrassment? I get secondhand embarrassment from Joe trying to like, go ahead, move her on up.
We're not going to edit it out, so it's good.
Just keep your elbow
Just
there.
keep my arm there.
There you go.
I mean, you guys can tighten it.
Very nonchalant. But I get secondhand embarrassment so hard from when they're like broing out with each other and like my car's better or this car's better. I feel like they're one-upping. And recently, not recently at all, actually, it was about 4 years ago with my neighbor Emily, I thought this was going down. Like after Joseph and my husband Joe met and compared stats for everything, I was like, I'm so sorry that Joe was like one-upping your husband the entire time. And she was like, girl, I was fixing to text you the exact same thing. But neither of them felt like they were one-upping each other.
That's just how they converse.
It's
weird.
weird.
Yeah,
That's weird.
it is really weird.
It is weird.
I watch Adam do it all the time, and one guy will say something, and they don't even respond to it. They just say another thing, and then the other guy doesn't respond to it, and then they say another thing, and I'm like,
Yes.
you guys, just like acknowledge what the other one said, and they're like, what?
Well,
We're
fine.
just talking about our car.
It's
In
fine.
our world, though, if we were to do that, it would be one-upping. If you were
would be.
like, oh,
Yes.
I have a car, and I was like, I have a Ford Explorer, and you're like, I have a lake house, and I'm like, mine is like a bigger lake house.
Yeah.
That's one-upping.
I
That is
know,
one-upping.
it is. But for guys, it's not.
No, it's totally
it's
chill.
weird.
But when girls do it to guys, it's one-upping to guys.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Well, they
it's-
don't want to feel emasculated.
Exactly. It's only guys and guys that can have that sort of communication.
And it's weird.
It's weird.
Which, by the way, you guys don't know what cars we're talking about. So you guys know my husband has a Lamborghini and a Supra. And then your husband has,
67 Mustang.
yeah.
Oh, do you want me to list them all?
Yeah.
Yes, let's go.
I think we have 6 Supras. I know.
Every Superman out there is like, and I jizzed in my pants.
Is any of them for sale?
I mean,
Specifically the green?
no. Turtle Power will never be for sale, probably. Let's see. Yeah, 6 Supras. He has a built Honda Del Sol.
Oh, those are cool. I didn't know about that.
Oh, yeah, that was the first one he built before we had the Supras. Although he hasn't driven it in like a year. So, just saying he needs to get that out of the garage. I have a Stealth, like a Dodge Stealth RT that is currently not running, but I have that. And I think those are all the cool cars.
And how many garage stalls do you have?
I was literally going to say you have like a car dealership.
Yeah. So, I mean, amongst the house, the basement and the building next door, they'd be 3, 4, 5, 6. Like a 6-car garage, although, like, there's lots of cars tall.
Do you have lifts in there so that you can like put double the cars?
Yes, in the pole building.
I don't want Adam to ever hear this.
I'm pretty sure he's been there.
Oh, he wants one so bad.
Oh,
He
yeah.
wants a lift in our garage, and I'm like, no,
We want one too.
we don't have space for this.
We like
there
need
is
one.
Yeah.
There's some really, like, low ones, so.
Yeah, well,
We
Sorry.
lived
don't
in
say that.
Georgia. Our house there had Joe had a 30 by 40 workshop. And then I had the garage attached to the house. And it was heaven. But it had like it was tall enough for the car lift. You could double stack them. It had like a little spot in the back. So he got super spoiled. And now our forever home, he's like, no,
Yeah.
I need another house. I'm like, okay, whatever.
You need another garage, Joe.
I have heard him mention like, oh, there's not enough room in my garage.
and we have a decent size
but there is.
garage.
You do. You have a big garage.
Yeah.
Like, Joe, you have enough room.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But you know who doesn't have enough room?
Us.
Yeah.
For all of our cars.
Yeah. What's
We-
going on there?
Also have 6 cars. We have a 93 Mark IV Supra. We have a 1990 R32 GTR. Those are Adam's cars, obviously, race cars. I daily BMW X5M. We also Adam dailies a BMW M3.
Yeah.
BMW M3, and a built Evo 10. And then we also have a piece of shit Toyota Camry, 1990 type, I think 90. Anyways, we call her the Green Dragon, and she runs like a dream.
She's
So,
also peeling like a dragon.
she's peeling. That's why she's a dragon. And she is the dogmobile, so we don't have to get dog hair in all the other fancy cars
That's smart, though.
for now.
Yeah.
You
I
always
would
need
like
one of those
to
with dogs.
Yeah, I would like to get rid of that and get a truck because my chores and my hobbies include truck because I like to do
Don't you have a truck?
DIY stuff. No, that is my brother's truck that I stole to drive up here with all my dad's stuff, and it's still here because I had to drive it. My brother has to come back, drive here to get it, or I'm sorry, fly here to drive it back, and. Well, it hasn't happened yet, and I'm hoping he just kind of forgets it's here, and I just...
That sounds like
Have a
to
truck.
me, you have a truck.
That's what
You
I
do have a
said.
truck, yeah.
He texted me the other morning, and he's like, hey, can you measure my steering wheel? And I'm like, for the truck? And I'm like, you mean for my truck? Mm-hmm. Yeah. He didn't find it funny, but I do.
I find it pretty funny just because I also know your brother pretty well. So,
Yeah, because Raven, you guys have more than that. You have 3 cars total?
Yeah, but that's the only like cool one.
Yeah.
I mean, Joe would be really proud that he's had the same truck since 05.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't even know what that is. It's a F-150. I do know what that truck is.
There you go.
You know things.
I know things. He's had the same F-150 since 05, and then obviously I drive a Ford Explorer. He's got the Mustang. He did have a Harley. He's a big Harley guy, but he was hit by a car on his Harley. He hit a deer on his Harley, and then the brakes went out through a stoplight on it. So we were like,
All right.
it might be time to get rid of the Harley. You know,
might be
Unless you take out a good life insurance policy.
that's what I asked. I was like, is your life insurance in my name? I need to know this. But no, he sold that in Georgia. We didn't have anyone to ride with, and when you're riding by yourself, it's super dangerous. So we got rid of the Harley. One day we might get another one, but not anything like what we had. It was slammed. My seat was like a suction cup, and if you're like Harley people, you know about the suction cup seat on the back. So if we get another one, like I'm having armrests, we're having bags on the side, we're going old people Harley.
Yep.
All the comforts.
Yeah.
You're riding comfy.
Yes, never again. So We'll see. And then obviously the Camaro. We started looking last year, but unlike Joe, he's like super project car driven. Like he's totally cool if he just rewired the entire Mustang. He's down with that. But for me with the Camaro, like, no, this is what I want. And we're not going to pull the trigger until we find what I want because I'm going to hop in that bitch, hit the my curse button. I'm going to hop.
Where is that? Okay.
Hop in that bitch. And
You can't still say bitch when you say it.
and I'm gonna drive everywhere. You
No,
know what
absolutely.
I mean? Like
You wanna drive
You want
and
me to
go.
go to Shitty Kitty, Food Lion? Let me hop in my Camaro and go get groceries. You know, so I want something that I can get in and go.
Yep.
Yep,
You
that's
don't
how
want
I
to have
feel-
to fix
Yeah, that's how I feel about my dream car, the 2016 specifically purple GT3 RS. Oh yeah,
it. 2016.
because that's the only year they made this very specific purple color, and then it has the yellow Brembo brakes, the yellow seat belt. It is like chef's kiss. It's beautiful, and I have had my eye on it for a very long time, and it's just trying to get my ducks in a row to get one,
Right.
and we'll get one, but.
Are you a Vikings fan? Because it sounds like Vikings colors.
No. It also sounds like maybe Ravens. They're going to the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah. Ravens were
Oh,
too.
there we go.
Purple and yellow.
Yeah, no, it's just specifically because I told Aaron, like, hey, if I'm going to get a supercar or any type of exotic car, it's going to be an exotic color. I'm not going to get a silver GT3 RS.
I agree.
Boring. I'm not doing that. I'm not getting black, white. It's going to be like lime green, purple, orange, not yellow.
Something bright.
I don't like that, but it's going to be something that makes people like look again, because I've driven past GT3 RSs that are silver on silver, like silver wheels, silver paint, and it's like it doesn't grab your attention.
Boring.
Blends in with all the everyday cars.
Yeah, like if you're a guy that brags about your silver on silver car, like stop. At least powder coat your wheels black, please, because
Do something.
it's so bad. Silver on silver is not something to brag about.
No.
Ever.
And I'm okay with like the more neutral type colors for the car itself, but just like you said, you got to powder coat the wheels. You got to do something to make it stand out.
Yeah, white on silver is good. Black on silver is good. But silver on silver, no, thank
Not
you.
good. Mm-hmm.
No.
No, I haven't actually seen Joe's Mustang. Is it silver on silver?
It's silver on silver.
Sorry, Joe.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
She's maroon. She's maroon. She's about the color of your shirt. She will not always be maroon, though. There are plans to paint her. I regret to inform you, it's probably going to be like a gunmetal color, though.
Hey, my Mercedes is gunmetal.
I like
I like
gunmetal.
gunmetal.
I like gunmetal.
that, but
We're-
just do something with the wheels.
Yeah, we're tossing around the idea of it being like flat. We'll see. I don't know. It's listen, that's his car. That's his dream. He can do whatever he wants to do with it, but he won't have a say in what I do with mine either. You know what I mean?
I mean, the Lambo is a flat, like a matte white. I mean, it's glow in the dark, but it's a matte white. And honestly, like, I can't tell you the last time we washed it, and it looks really good still. So I would say, other than like some bugs getting on it, you can just wipe it off real quick. The matte is actually, I think it looks nice. It looks better.
We have to do a lot of body work to the Mustang before we do even think about paint, though.
Why has it hit a lot of people?
Well,
Joe's
one,
gunning for him.
it's got a very obnoxious hood scoop, which
Surprise, surprise.
not even obnoxious just for us, like even obnoxious for Joe. Like it's too much. It's got to go. So the hood scoop, we need to get a different hood for that. And then I don't think it was really well taken care of for a hot moment. Whoever had it, I don't want to say before Joe, but the guy before that, I don't think he took really good care of it.
Probably hit a few people, trying to
Probably.
show off.
Crowd surfing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, before Joe, it was a drag car.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'll keep y'all updated on the paint choice.
Well, you might not have to, because I'm sure my husband will be like, hey, man, hey, have you decided what to, hey, we got to talk about cars. It's like the drug for them. Like, hey, did you decide what to do with that car? And then we're all going to hear about it before you even have the chance to tell us.
Probably before I even know.
Probably before you even know.
You
are
will
correct.
know before I know, for sure.
It's
That's
bad.
true.
Yeah, have you guys noticed? I don't know if like you guys notice. You'll be like, your man will be texting somebody and they'll be saved in the phone as like, actually, for instance, Adam is saved into Aaron's phone as Adam with a GTR. Because that was
Yes.
the car that he had when we met. And even there's been people, I'm like, they'll be like, John, CTSV. And he doesn't even have that car anymore. I'm like, who's that? Oh, he's got the blue Lambo now. He lives in this state, but he used to have this Cadillac and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, why do you save them like that? Like, I don't save Raven, brown hair.
I have to confess, I also have car people in my phone is that too. Like I have like Supra Frank and like Glen AT. So I mean, I do have car people in my phone. Is that? It's an easy reminder. So if you see somebody that's like texting you, like, oh yeah, it's like that's the car person.
Well, and you probably know like 5 Joes, right? So how are you going to remember who's who? Joe
which
Corvette, Joe EV R,
I'll edit that part out. Right?
Joe Corvette. I already said that.
Do you not update it every time they get a new car? So if they trade in their Corvette for a Supra?
So, like the 2 guys that I specifically do have it saved in there, they still have the same cars, so we're good. I would probably save.
It's only 2 guys.
Yes.
So it's not every single guy like how
No.
guys are. Like, oh, I met this dude. We met, and I could just look at him. I could smell the car enthusiast in him. So I'm like, what kind of car do you have? Oh, you have that? Well, I have this. Oh, let's save each other's numbers. Blah, 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 blah. And then that's it.
I mean, let's talk about the elephant in the room, though. How did Adam and Aaron meet?
Funny story. This is a very funny story. Aaron and I are big into bike riding in the summertime. We'll ride up to like 50, 60 miles a day, which for an average person who doesn't race bicycles, like that's a pretty good amount. Anyway, we're riding around the other side of the neighborhood, and I saw an Impala. And I'm like, oh, look at that GTR. Of course, because, the circle taillights are very similar to the GTR. And he's like, oh, so funny. But he turns around, and there is legit a GTR in somebody's driveway. And I'm like, oh, like I didn't
That's
see
what I
that.
meant. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, I really wanted to make fun of this Impala, but seeing that just so happened to work out. So he like turns his bike around. I'm like, what are you doing? The guy's working in his garage. He's being a creep. So he just rolls up into his driveway. Hey, I live in the neighborhood too.
See,
like your
weird car guys.
Tell me about it.
That's true.
And I'm like, oh my gosh. So we spent probably like 45 minutes talking to this guy. He's like, oh yeah, y'all should come out to this ride along we're doing. We go up there. We meet Adam and Riley.
Well, I wasn't there yet.
You
It was
showed up
just
later.
Adam, yeah.
But we didn't hit it off as well with the other guy. Plus, he was military and he moved. But we hit it off with Adam and Riley. And the rest is history. It's like a little love story.
It is. And now it's been 4 years.
It has
And
been.
that's actually how we've all met is I think Adam took his car to your husband.
Yes. Adam was a customer of Alex's, and that's how we met Adam. And then we hung out with Adam, and then we met you, and through we met you guys.
And Joe and Adam were stationed together many years ago, so they knew each other through work. So then we brought you guys in.
Party.
Halloween party, yep.
Christmas party.
Yep.
Christmas party.
Christmas party.
Yep. So now, one big happy family.
We like cars.
Well, it all started with cars.
We also like to party.
Yes.
I was gonna say
We love to
that.
party. We love
like
to
cars
drink.
and we like to drink.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, your late 20s, early 30s can't get any better than that.
It's true.
Well,
Except if you're at a car show at 20-degree weather and everybody's freezing and the local bathrooms are closed because they're like, there's 100 people outside with cars. We're closing these bathrooms.
Yep. That part sucks.
Yeah, that part does suck.
Especially on a Saturday morning when I have to get up at 5 a.m. to go to a car show that I'm really not that enthused to go to at 5 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday. But that's what my husband wants to do. So what do? I wake up and I go out there and then I freeze my ass off. Sorry. I freeze my off. And then
Like that.
I can't even go to the bathroom because no one will open up their bathrooms to us. Remember that one in Charlotte? We had to drive to find a porta potty because there was nothing in the house.
That was the Supras one. Where it was all the
wait.
Supras.
Yeah.
Wasn't that like you tried to go across the street to the
Gas
Yes.
station.
They wouldn't allow you?
No.
And
So-
it was
Jerks.
not safe.
And it was
that
in the
bad?
middle.
It was a little
yeah,
sketch.
it was not in a good place of town.
Yeah.
But it was a beautiful place for like
Photos.
photography for
Yeah,
your
the
cars.
skyline.
But for people who have to use the restroom, oh no, that could have been way better. We drove around. We like went through a grocery store, and it was like worse than a Dollar General. It was really bad, and it smelled funny. And there was not one name brand item on the shelf. I'm like, I don't even know where we're at. No bathroom. We're just driving like, there's a porta potty. So what are you thinking? And we both like looked after each other and were like watching each other go to this nasty ass porta potty. But
It was at a construction zone.
It
If
was.
that tells you anything about how nasty it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty gross, but we relieved ourselves. Which is,
What was that woman that murdered someone and she wore diapers to like?
Oh, the
drive all-
astronaut. She was
Yes.
like military.
Yes.
She was an astronaut. And she drove from Texas to Florida.
Yes.
And she wore an adult diaper so that she didn't have to stop at all to pee.
That's what you needed an adult diaper.
Yeah.
Problem
I don't know
solved.
anything about
seniors.
this,
Are you
but
serious?
I'm
Girl, Dateline.
slightly intrigued
Yeah.
though.
Date
It was like probably, what, 8 or 9 years ago at
Yeah.
this point? Yeah.
all I'm thinking of how big my booty would be with that diaper
Oh
on.
my gosh.
Just turn around and look back at it.
Yeah. Look back at it.
Some shapewear.
Yeah.
Your diaper shapewear.
Look, some of those shapewears now do make women look like they have diaper butt. Oh, and also
yeah.
Brazilian butt lifts, BBLs.
Yeah.
Some girls, they look good. Some girls, they look like they're wearing diapers.
Yeah, it's weird. If you're
Very misshapen sometimes.
yeah, you've got to have thick thighs. If you don't have thick thighs, you don't have a thick ass. It's not natural.
That's it.
so. I
So
know.
there's nothing to hold it up.
We see you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Little
But
chicken legs.
honestly,
Girls
you could
know.
just like my ass was like a straight pancake, and then I went to the gym and like drinking my protein, working out hard, doing leg day twice a week, and within a month it was like bubble booty. I'm like, where'd this come from? Like
just
it
have
was
to
great. Yeah.
You have to be consistent.
Consistency is key.
That is true.
I keep wanting to look at Liz to talk to her, and I'm like, I have no mic over here. Wait a second.
It's okay. My feelings aren't hurt.
I have to reshift. And then I'm trying to keep your because it's
Oh, yeah,
mic
it's
up.
going
but
up.
Then
It slowly goes down.
Yeah.
Will it tighten anymore? Or is
No. I tried. That's true.
Yeah, that is really true.
So I gotta say though, going back to how car guys have other car guys saved in their phones under their cars or whatever, the opposite. People that are like friends or friendly, but they only know each other, don't remember each other's names, but they know each other by the car they drive
Yes.
at the car shows.
Yes.
And they see each other and they're like, I don't remember this dude's name, but I know what kind of car he drives.
Yeah.
Badass.
Yeah.
You're like, and you've met him how many times? I don't know, like handfuls? You're like, cool. You should probably remember his name at some point in
Yeah.
time.
And then he walks up to him and he's like, "You're the guy with the Evo."
Yeah, but
And
I
then
don't,
they start talking again.
yeah, I
Yes,
don't think
like nothing
guys
best.
care if you don't remember their name. They'll be like, "Hey, buddy, blah blah blah," and at the end of the conversation, be like, "What's your name again?" And then they don't care.
It's so true.
But that's another thing for us, though. We'd be like, "That bitch didn't remember my name."
She didn't.
That's so rude.
No, I think they're more flattered. Like they don't really care. Like, oh, you don't remember my name, but you remember my car.
Yep.
That's what
'Cause
matters.
They're like, my car must have made an impression on him.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but.
That's a good point. It's a
Yeah.
good point.
And guys can get away with being like, "Hey, dude. Hey, man. Hey, bro."
That's true.
What's going on, brother?
Yeah. Hell yeah, brother. We can't do that. We're like, "Hey, what's up,
Yeah.
chick?
Or it's like the side
What's up,
eye
girl?
for
What's
like
up,
the
girl?"
first.
And people are like,
What's up, sweetie? And you're like, no, that sounds
no,
weird.
no.
No, it's the side eye for the first 30 minutes. Like you look at it, you don't want to say nothing. Like you
"She
cold
doesn't
too?
know my name."
Right?
You cold too? You want to find a porter shit or two?
Let's leave this joint.
Right? Let's go find somewhere warm. Be great.
I mean, if I don't remember somebody's name, though, I'm also going to be like, "Hi, I'm Riley, and this is." Oh, hey, what?
Oh,
I wait for them to introduce
yeah,
themselves,
yeah.
so then I don't have to, and then I can like listen and be like, I knew your name was Linda the whole time."
Right.
Do you get listen, Linda, all the time?
Yes, yes, I do.
Linda, listen, Linda.
That's my sister's name. I don't think she gets it nearly as much as she should.
Oh, I get it all the time. Every time I introduce my name, like myself to somebody, that's what I always get.
Listen, Linda.
Although, funny enough, a lot of guys do that.
I was
Yeah.
gonna
Not
say-
a lot of women. I always get it with guys, and I'm always just like nodding my head, like,
You're so funny.
"Oh yeah, right." Very original. Thank you.
I like it.
It is pretty funny though.
I mean,
The
little
video,
kid.
the
Yes,
video,
the
not
little
your
kid.
name. No, the
The
video.
little kid is funny.
Yeah, not you. I mean, you can be.
I have to pause. My ear's itching right here in the front. Sorry, y'all. You can edit that out, but I've been thinking about it for like 5 minutes.
You're like, I can't stop thinking.
It's
about
okay. I've been thinking about how much I have to use the restroom and the bathroom, and it's right behind Riley. So
it. Wow. So when your husbands reach out to somebody, do your husbands reach out to anybody on Facebook about a car ad that they saw?
yeah, and not even interested in buying it. They just want to talk to them about the car. Like, oh, I saw this is for sale. The guy probably gets hyped. Like, oh, I got this for sale. Somebody's really messaging me about it.
Yes.
They're ready to buy it. No.
No.
They just want to talk to you about the car. Like, oh, I saw that you had this.
And then
The funny thing is like, no, I'm the opposite because my husband gets that.
yes.
Yeah.
So if Adam is like that, or if Aaron's like that,
Aaron's bad.
Alex hates that.
Yeah.
Aaron will go all the way up, even to car dealerships. He will go all the way to the point where they're like, all right, do you want to finance or pay cash?
Neither.
I just wanted to talk about cars, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Adam will do that. Like, he'll have some interest, but not in actually buying the car. He just wants to know more about the
Interested
car.
in the car.
Yeah, not to buy the car. And then he'll get into these long conversations on Facebook where an hour later, I'm like, what do you have things to do? Well, I'm talking to this guy about cars. And I'm like, are you going to buy the car? No. Well, then what are you talking about? Well, I'm telling him about my cars. And I'm like, this man does not care about your cars right now. He wants to sell his car. And he's like, no, he's interested. He's asking me questions back.
See, but rather that's the problem. That's like me thinking that they're one-upping. See, you think that the other guy he's talking to is like, man, fuck this guy. Like, I do not want to do this anymore.
No.
But in reality, he's like, hon, this guy's asking me about his car, my car, and he's telling me about his car, and it's the coolest thing ever. Like, they love it.
We're best
Unless
buds now.
they're genuinely trying to sell it. Like, your husband gets it so much that he's over it. But, like, they were probably broing out.
They were totally
yeah.
growing out. And I'm like, you have things to do. Why are you on Facebook talking to this guy that you don't even know about cars that you're never going to see? Like,
It almost feels like men like grow up to the age of 8 years old, and then like their brain is done, but their body just gets big. You know, it's like you're describing a toddler to me, but it's true.
It is true. It's like a toddler with money.
yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
They're like,
that's very
toys.
true.
I'm just going to buy all the toys that I can find.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's literally
My
what
husband
they
has
do.
all the toys.
All the modifications, because like even when they don't need the modifications they think they do. Like for instance, when we went to the supercar meet and we did not have an exhaust on the Supra, God forbid, it was all stock, NA Supra, and all the guys, specifically your husband was like, oh, is it the Tesla mod? Because I mean, it was really
quiet.
it was kind of embarrassingly quiet because like I'll drive the Supra to the gym and somebody will be waiting outside the gym for me to start the car, and I start, it's like, boom.
And they're like, oh.
That's it. And I'm like, that's
And you
cool.
can tell a stock Supra by the way it sounds too.
Yeah,
Like, you can tell it's stock.
The disappointment in the people's faces that are like waiting outside in the cold or the rain to hear the Supra start up, and they're just like, oh, Or when you're with, I don't know, 100 Supras, and we're the one that drives by, and they're like, oh shit, they almost hit me because I didn't
even hear it coming up.
Sounds like a Prius.
Sneak attack.
Hey, we have gotten an exhaust since then, so it was not long after, because that was pretty.
Of course, because Aaron had his ego was a little bruised that everyone else had a good or nice sounding Supra and his was.
And actually, I welded the entire exhaust. I spent 8
did.
hours in the garage welding. And at the end of the day, I was like, oh, this argon is getting to my head. Like, I cannot weld anymore. He's like, you got one more ring. Let's go. I'm like, God, 15 more minutes. And I welded it. I was like, finally, I'm done. This long-ass exhaust. And it was the most awkward thing I've ever welded.
Yeah.
But I got it done, and the car sounds good.
That's awesome.
Very nice.
And also, your husband is in the garage cheering you on.
He is.
Like my husband is in the gym cheering me on. Like, one more rep, one more ring. It's equates.
That's true. I'm sure Alex is the same way with you.
Yeah.
I got nothing. I'd be the opposite one cheering him on. Like, you can finish this car. Keep going.
You got it.
The clients are waiting.
And Raven's over there to Joe, be like, are you finished with that car yet, Joe?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'm not out there with him for sure.
Yeah, she's like, I need to refinish this dresser, and your car's in the way.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Clean up your shit.
get
your
your
shit
shit
out
out of my garage.
Yeah.
I have DIY stuff to
I'm
do.
fixing to plumb a bathroom, sir. I need you
Yes.
to move your shit.
Yeah, I need you to get it out of the way.
Which I can say, we've known you for about 2 years. I have never seen the Mustang on the road. I have never heard it run.
Yeah.
I've only ever seen like 2 inches of dust sitting on it.
Yeah, so I want to say right after we met you, it had just came back from a transmission shop. Don't ask me what he did because I have no fucking clue. It was there and it cost us a lot of money, and then he was driving it
As
home
they all do.
and romped on it, and something broke loose.
Oh,
I don't know what, and we had to have it towed home. So she's been in the garage ever since. After that happened, he was super defeated, and he was like, you know what, I have to rewire it anyway, so I'm going to rewire it. He spent like months out there with her rewiring it, and it was running again after that. I know for sure because he backed it out and took it out in the neighborhood and came back, and now it's not again. So I don't know. Hopefully they give Joe shit for that whenever they do their little podcast and ask him what's going on, but I just don't know.
I mean, maybe they'll give Aaron shit because the Lamborghini and the Supra are down right now.
GTR battery is dead. Supra is not working. The Evo battery is 100% on its way out.
You just had issues with the M3.
The M3 is now in the shop because it was in limp mode. And I mean, there is always something broke with cars.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about how these guys are hoarding cars, but they never seem to run.
I have one car, he has 5, and most of the time, 4 of them are not running at the same time. And I'm like, what is the point of having all these cars?
Yeah, we have 4 cars. 2 of them are down. My daily, the heat went out, and I haven't taken it to the shop because I don't want to waste my money on a rental car. I would like to drive one of the other 2 cars we have. So I'm just going, North Carolina winter with no heat. And then obviously the truck needs like regular maintenance. So all 4 cars need something and 2 don't run.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's go back to the patience that Joe had with that car, with months rewiring that car. The patience. But then when it comes to giving us an extra 5 minutes to get ready, all of a sudden their patience is gone.
Like how Adam, he showed up today. First one here, he knocks on the door. I'm like, first of all, I don't know why you're knocking. Just come in. Second, where is Riley? He's like, I was bothering Riley. She was trying to get ready, so I just said, I'm going to come hang out with my friends. I'm like, well, I'm getting ready, so upstairs you go.
See you
That's
later.
really funny.
It's true. Like, they have patience. Like, they'll sit and spend hours on a car. Aaron will spend hours in the garage welding things. Adam will just, like, be underneath the car, and he'll be, like, Googling all of these things on how to fix issues. And then I need an extra 5 minutes, and he's like, are you done yet? Are you ready yet? Why do you have so much patience when it comes to anything but me?
I
The
don't know.
hobbies.
Yeah, I feel like I can't talk shit about this one because I'm the same way, just the opposite with like my hobbies. You know what I mean? Like I can right now I'm redoing the bathroom, so I can rip the bathroom apart. I can like Google stuff. I can FaceTime Dad, like figure out all the plumbing and everything. But then Joe tells me dinner's ready, and I'm like, would you just give me 10 more fucking minutes? Like, give me 10 minutes, dude.
Yeah.
So I think it's just about what you find enjoyable, and unfortunately, we've
true.
been
We're not
around
it.
long enough that we're not it.
Yeah, that's unfortunate because I do it. Aaron's in the garage every single night, and I'm like, I give him a 10-minute or 5-minute warning. I'm like, hey, dinner, and I have like 10 minutes left to go, and then like 20 minutes later, I'm sitting at the table, I haven't touched anything, I'm waiting, I'm like, my food's getting cold.
You're wafting it too.
Yeah, and I'm like trying to take little bites, but not to the point where he notices that I started eating without him.
Oh, gosh.
Also, quit trying to bring realism to this. I'm trying to talk shit. I don't want to talk about how I do the same exact thing to him. That's not fun.
I'll back it up.
They'll do that for us though when it's their turn.
yeah.
They're gonna be like, oh, the girls talked mad shit.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk mad shit. In reality, we just kind of talked.
We talk shit about ourselves too, and we're like, we bring it full circle. We're like, yeah, we do that too. But you know what? They don't need to know that until after theirs, and then they'll feel bad.
But also, we will admit it, and they won't.
That's true.
That's
probably
the
true.
ego.
Yeah.
It's 100% true.
Yeah, that's very true. Please stay tuned for the guys. They're supposed to be making fun of us, car girls, but we don't know what they're going to talk about. They may start talking about transmissions and wiring harnesses and
It's gonna be really lame.
yeah.
Yeah.
Talk very specifically about a problem or something.
Yeah, they're going to get down into the nitty gritty. They're going to talk like technical things,
Yeah.
or maybe their seatbelts about how they got a new one. Like my husband, like it's a new harness, or
The last time I was at your house, he was like, slide in there. And I like I slid into the seat, and it was so tight. And I was like, Adam, how do you fit in this? And he's like, it's real tight. And I'm like,
yeah,
cool, dude.
I know. He's got these bucket seats, and my ass barely fits in them.
I was actually shook at it. Like, I really did not know that it was going to be that tight. I'm not saying it felt bad. It was kind of like,
It's
hug.
comforting.
Yeah, it was
It's
a
like
little
hug.
comforting,
Yeah.
but I was like, how, if my ass fits in this seat, how does your ass fit in this seat?
And also, how does his and in his
Yeah.
shoulders and he's just, but he drives like this because he has more control and he's fine with it. And I'm like, man, I got too much going on down here for me to fit comfortably. So I'm like squished in there like this.
I could see how a long trip in that seat would be a little rough, but like just the few moments that I spent in it, I mean, I'm not going to tell him this because we would talk about it for an hour after, but it's kind of nice, you know?
Yeah, don't mention that.
I mean,
You'll make it bad for me
Yeah.
because he'll be like, well, Raven liked it. Why can't you? And I'll be like,
Not the same thing.
I don't know how
Raven
he
spent
fits
2
in that.
minutes in it and I have to
Yeah.
spend 3 hours.
It's
Thanks.
different. It's different.
Yeah, I've given Adam a ride home from work multiple times in my Mercedes, and it has Recaro seats, and I could just see him like spilling over the sides, and I'm just thinking like, how do you fit in specifically the GTR? Because I've been in there and I've been like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not moving.
I honestly don't know.
I mean, if you get in a wreck, like you're probably solid as far
Sure.
as the seat goes, but
Yeah.
it's a tight squeeze for sure.
I think it's a magic trick, really, for him. I don't know how he does it. And I will say, when we took the Supra on the Tail of the Dragon in Tennessee and parts of North Carolina, but we took the Supra. He had the bucket seat, and we went to put my seat in so that it would be more comfortable for me because it's 117 turns and 7 miles. I think I'm wrong on those stats, but it's a lot.
A commenter will tell you. Don't worry.
Yes, it's just super windy, and we couldn't get my seat in because the person who he ordered it from sent the wrong rail with it, so we couldn't mount it. So I had to sit in the stock seat while he was in his bucket seat, and he's in good for all these curves. You know, he's not thrown around, and I'm like, I scoot my seat way up to the dash, and I braced myself with my legs. So I had my legs on the dash to brace myself so that I wasn't like flying all over the place. And that did help. But man, he was way more comfortable in that than what I was. So I will say, when it comes to like, specific reasons, that's when those seats come in handy. But otherwise, they're not comfortable.
I was trying to shit on Adam and you ruined it.
Dang it.
Here, I'll go back to shitting on Adam.
Yeah,
So,
let's go back to it.
Adam and I work together, and if he does anything new to any of the 5 cars that he has, as soon as I walk into the office, hey, what's going on, brother? Guess what wheels I just got for my car? I'm like, it's 8 a.m. I haven't had my coffee yet, but please tell me about the new wheels that you have picked out for the M3. Like, go on. I know you need to tell somebody, and nobody else in the office cares about cars, so come on, tell me.
He's got the itch.
Yeah. And now you know how I feel, because he'll be like,
Oh, yeah.
oh, do you want to know what's wrong with the car? No. Oh, well, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, that sounds expensive.
Or let's talk about how we're in a group message with your husband, my husband, and you and I.
Yeah.
And they're talking for like an hour about car issues, and I'm just like, stop blowing up my phone on Do Not Disturb.
Yeah.
Just go text each other back. I don't care about you guys going back for, oh, it could be the wiring harness. It could be the vacuum. It could be the blah, blah, blah. I don't care.
Well, your husband works on cars, so
I know.
at least you don't have to worry about all of these things. And your husband just does his own stuff, so.
Yeah, he does everything.
Yeah.
Like he just changed the brakes, the rotors, put new tires, and he did something else that makes my car sound different. I don't know what that was though.
Probably the exhaust.
Maybe, I don't know.
On a Ford Explorer, I think that would be a first.
Yeah.
Not a clue what he did. I think
But it sounds better.
Yeah, I think it's something with the turbo. I'm not really sure what it is. But, like, I drive a mom car, and he's still trying. Like, he can't stop. He's still trying to do stuff to it, which it's cool. It's whatever. It's not like he goes overboard. I think he does just enough to make it look like a nice car,
Yeah.
even though it's a Ford Explorer. But he can't help himself.
Oh, I feel the same way about myself. I will never drive a normal car. Like, yeah, I have a Mercedes, but I got some rims on it, and I got some 5% tint, and it
I'm with you
sounds
on
good.
that.
It looks good. I will never drive a regular traffic car ever. I'm always going to do something
Do
to it.
something. Like, you
Yeah.
need to, at least the rims. I feel like at a bare minimum, you've got to get, like, a good-looking set of rims on your car.
Yeah.
Unless, like, my X5M, it came with good stock rims. I mean,
But
those are stock.
You
But
guys put on that nice
I
exhaust.
was going to say, but it's got aftermarket exhaust that makes it sound really good. And then I want to black out all the chrome on there.
Yeah.
So I haven't done it yet. I've been telling my husband to do it, but
and I've been waiting on y'all to do it.
but his cars come first. So
So I have a question for all of you. were you into cars before your husband's, or did you get into car? I had a feeling you were gonna tell me yes.
Yes.
You were too?
Yeah, it's funny enough. When I met Aaron, I was like showing off my BRZ, and I thought I was so Z that was lowered on wheels with an exhaust, and I was like, "Look at my BRZ," and he's like, "Okay, cool. Look at my GTR." I'm like, "Oh, cool." Like, but I did like upgrade from the BRZ to a Porsche Cayman S after that.
Is this when you worked at the dealership?
Yeah.
In case you were wondering, Liz and Aaron met at the dealership.
I was his car salesman. He took more home than just a new Toyota Tacoma.
He got more than he bargained for, and he loves it. I'm pretty sure he probably bought that Toyota Tacoma just to see if you would come with it.
Oh, just so you guys are aware, there was 4 on the lot. He specifically asked about one, and by the time he got there, the other 3 had sold, and the one he bought did. It was such a base model; it didn't even have a gas light on it. So like,
Wow.
Yeah, that's
I didn't even know they made those.
it was just it was no light. It was just like the little knob. So anyway, it was like 6 months later. He was like, "I can't believe you sold me a car with no navigation, no gas light, all this stuff." I'm like, "Well, you got me, so I'm going to show you how to get rid of this car with no negative equity. Let's go." Because the one thing I can bring to the table is I know how to buy cars.
And get rid of them.
Yeah, that is true. That's how we got the Lambo.
Yeah. So how were you is that how you guys met as well?
So I've always been into cars. So like I grew up in a divorced parents' household, but my dad always had like a shell of a 1957 Chevy Bel Air. So I like grew up around that, and it wasn't until many, many years later that he actually fully restored it and like painted it beautiful teal and white and did like the nice interior and everything. So it's like I was always around cars there. I did like a car project, I think, for like, I don't know, some science fair, like way back when. I'm thinking about it now and it's cringeworthy, but I did it. And then I never went to like college, but I went to technical school to be a mechanic. Life took a weird turn. I didn't actually go into that field, but I met Alex there. So we were both. So that's how I met my husband. I know, it's through the tech school.
Yeah.
That's actually a really cute story.
It is. Car people meet car people through.
Yeah.
And now they're married.
And now we're married.
What's funny about that is my dad has the exact same car.
Oh, really?
And it was a shell when we were growing up. He's putting it together now, but even weirder part of that story is he had one that was not a shell. It was complete when him and my mom were together in high school. And the story goes, that's how my brother was conceived.
Ooh.
A car got sold shortly after because my brother was conceived. And, yeah, he picked up a shell later, and it's been sitting in his garage. He's been waiting to put it back together ever since, but he's got the exact same car.
Wow. Made one and lost one all in the same.
The only thing
Made a
I
kid, lost
remember
a car.
from shop class in high school, because I at least did take one class, is the firing order on a 57 Chevy, and it's 18436572. So I can offer you that, but that's that's all I've got.
That sounds like a song. Like
That's
8675309.
Yep, that's all I remember. But it was because my dad's.
Hey, that's going to come useful for somebody watching this podcast.
Absolutely.
So,
I got you.
Somebody is going to be building that same car and be like, what's the firing for that? Oh,
Now I don't gotta Google it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
yeah.
They probably still will because they're like, "Oh, a woman told me." She's probably wrong.
Right? She don't remember that.
That's true. Yeah.
All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and until next time. Okay, bye.